Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Back for another episode. January 2026. We're so excited to be here again every day. Every day married to you, baby, is the most amazing thing. I get to work with the most beautiful woman in the world on a daily basis. I'm the luckiest guy. We get to do this podcast together, get to coach together.
You are lucky.
I am lucky. I'm telling you, I was born lucky. I should be playing a Powerball. Married to you, I hit the lottery, baby. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit today about my latest book that I wrote alone. Carol didn't write this one with me. She wrote a couple with me, but this one was a solo project, and I'm so excited about it. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, if there's anything we can help you with, I'd like to put a plug in for our coaching program. And if you need help in your childcare business and you are struggling, help is only a phone call away. We'll get on a Zoom call with you and we will help you, give you some actionable tips to point you in the right direction. So if you're struggling, go to childcaregenius.com right now. Whether you're struggling with finance or marketing or enrollment, profitability or staffing or hiring or firing, marketing, whatever that it is you're struggling with, reach out to us. We're here to help. All right, so that is my first thing. The second thing you need to do is order my book. And you're probably saying, he's just trying to sell books. That is absolutely not true because I'm giving this book away free. And if you're on you can see the book right now. If you're looking on YouTube, put up a Carol, put up me. This is Childcare Multi-Millionaire. And it's titled the way it is because I is one. And I'm going to share how you could become one in a fairly relatively short order as well. And I'm very proud of the book. I think it's my best one by far yet. Not that because I wrote it by myself. Carol and I have one in the works right now that'll be ready, might even be ready next month. We're excited about that project. But this right now is the book that I think you need in your hands. If you have anything that's not firing in your business on all cylinders, if you're struggling in any one area, this book is for you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the topics. First of all, did I say it's free? But you got to live in the U.S. If you're a Canadian, nope, no soup for you. You're going to have to pay for it. Go on Amazon and pay for it. Unfortunately, it's just so expensive to ship to other countries. It's just not. You guys are going to have to buy your own. So sorry about that. For my friends down under, they sell out on Amazon.au or NZ or CA in Canada. So go ahead, go to Amazon and pick up Childcare Multi-Millionaire. It's available in like 192 countries. Now but it's in English only. So just saying, if you're in Zimbabwe, you might not be able to read it.
Unless you can read English.
Unless you could read English. There you go. But if you're in Canada, I don't have a lot of A's in the book. So they might have a time understanding. I'm just picking on the Canadians. We love you. We love hockey. Molson Golden. We love hockey, the Bats. So I'm not picking on the Canadians. I love them. But the Americans, it's only cost me a couple dollars out of my own pocket to ship to you, media mail. So I'm going to ship you the book. So this is Childcare Multi-Millionaire. This is actually the hardcover book. I'm shipping you the paperback version because I'm a little cheaper. But anyway, it is amazing. And I'm actually going to pay for the shipping. Like there's other companies out there, and that's how they make their money. They rip you off on the shipping, charge you shipping and handling like $5.99, and it costs them a few dollars. And so they're trying to make their money on shipping and handling. What the heck is handling? All right. So that they're trying to do that. I'm giving it to you for free. I'm going to pay for the shipping and whatever the handling is, I'm paying for handling it. Carol, here, I'll hand it to Carol. I'll send it out, and I'm charging you nothing for that. Why are we doing that? So I took 2,500 copies and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this as a give back. And I'm going to give out 2,500 copies for free. And I pay for the shipping. Cost me about $10 per person to get this thing out in their hands. My costs. So for that 25,000, I figure I'm going to change a lot of lives. And that's why I do. I'm not doing it to sell books. I give actually all 8 books that we have, we give 100% of the profits of all of our books, the Wounded Warrior Project and the Tunnels and Tower Foundation. So we don't get any money off these books anyway, because we don't get any our money of our money. We don't put anything in our pocket. These books are just a give back, and we like doing it. But you need to get this book in your hands, and you need to read it. You know, a book on your bookshelf is nothing. Don't get this if you're not going to read it, because there's cheaper paperweights. I could mail you a paperweight for like 50 cents and maybe $1. I'd rather send you a paperweight and you can put that on the shelf if you're not going to read it. But if you're going to read it, I'll invest the money in you and you can put it on your bookshelf. All right, let's talk about some of the chapters in the book. What's the first chapter on?
Well set.
Well said. I'm glad you could read that without your glasses on. I was worried about that. So well set, about making money. The first 40% of the book, there's 101 nuggets in the book. There's 40 nuggets on creating wealth. It's financial, and it's the #1 area most struggled with childcare owners worldwide is finance. You don't have a clue on finance. You don't know what a profit and loss statement is. You have somebody else doing your accounting, somebody else doing your bookkeeping. You don't know your books. You don't know how much money you made last year. You don't know how much money in your bank account. You're struggling financially. And you need to read chapter 1. All of my previous books started with mindset, but I realized some people started in the mindset chapter and never got past it because they couldn't get out of their own head and realize that, you know, where's the good stuff? Well, mindset is the most important part. But if you don't get past it, then you're never going to get to the other meat. So I put the wealth set first, so you would read that. And then when you get to the mindset, maybe it absorbs it a little bit better. But anyway, I had everything from expansion to, you know, how to create an 8-figure net worth. Imagine $10 million in your daycare checking account. Actually, you don't want that because it's only FDI shirt for $250.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing to do. But imagine that net worth being 8 figures. And we show you how to do it because we've done it. So we show you how to do it as well. We talk about expansion. We talk about diversification. We talk about investing, smart business decisions along the way. So well set is very important. What's the next chapter?
Mindset.
So I'm going to put the next chapter, which I think is the most important chapter. So if you want to read chapter 2 first and then go back to 1, that's important. Because if your mind is not right, nothing else matters. If you're not in the right frame of mind, how do we start each day, huh?
Reading. Positive books.
Exactly. So Carol and I hop out of bed. I hit the coffee maker. Carol hits the couch. And we sit and read for 45 minutes to an hour every morning. Call it the Genius Morning. That's how we start our day. And it's routine. You know, I'm reading a book right now on, it's called The 12-Week Year. Carol's reading a book about husband.
Yes, how to treat your husband.
No, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I guess we gave it to her. No, I was kidding. Something about your hero, finding your hero in your husband.
Finding the hero in your husband. Yes.
And we read marriage books continually. People ask, why do you guys have such a good marriage? Because we work at it.
It's not always easy.
It's not always easy. Imagine, you know, she has to put up with me each and every day for the rest of her life. And she needs books to help her get through that. Like I need books to help tolerate when she leaves her underwear on the floor. I'm just kidding. It's a joke that we have in the house. For the record, I leave mine more than she.
And your mindset isn't easy either. You have to
constantly work at it. The voices in my head telling me one thing, the books are telling me another, and the books have to win. So if you're depressed or sad or anxious, anxiety, the books help ground you, and it's like therapy to me. Reading the books, and you know, I average about a book a week, maybe a book every 10 days. So I read at least 30 to 40 books a year. Carol's a little slower reader than I am. So I usually read 2 books for every her one, but then I read 2 and then pick the one I like the best, and then she reads that one. So all of her books I've already read, and then she's only
Except
reading.
the Finding the Hero in Your Husband.
I haven't read that one yet. But I tell you, I've read all the books on understanding women. I can remember my 20s reading a book on, and I forget the name of it, what it was called. But it was all about understanding women. I read it in my 20s, and that book helped me significantly understand why. And it wasn't that book that you see on the funny memes that's 6 feet high, understanding women. It's 6 feet high and this big and small print. That's actually not true. There's a lot. The best part of understanding women is listening, guys. If you actually listen, you can understand them. Most guys are too busy talking or ignoring, watching football, that they don't have time to listen to their
you
spouse.
do have to listen, because since we change our mind often, you don't know what our mind's thinking unless you listen.
100% of the time. What'd you say? Just kidding. So mindset is very important, which we do talk about in there. And
Heart set.
heart set is the next one. Having compassion and really leading from the heart. Most childcare owners are heart centered.
Right.
But there are some like me. Carol's heart centered. I'm brain centered. Brain doesn't mean that she's not smart. It means she's actually much smarter than I am. Brain thing means I think emotionally, or logically rather. Carol thinks more emotionally. And heart centered childcare owners make great owners, but they don't make the best financial decisions a lot of times because they're leading with their heart. And a lot of times, from the business perspective, they don't have that. So we come in as a coaching organization. We become the brain-centered part of their childcare business. And we help them bridge that gap over. Like Carol and I have complimented each other for years, but sometimes childcare owners don't have that compliment. They have a director, they have a leadership team. They're all heart-centered. They're great dealing with parents, great dealing with kids, but their profit and loss statement is horrible because they've never learned the business side of childcare and leading from a logical perspective, not a heart-centered perspective. Not that heart-centered is illogical. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say you've got to have that balance, and Heart Set chapter talks about that.
And health set.
Health set's the next chapter. Being healthy. If you drop dead at 50 years old and you make all this money in childcare and you diversify and you have a good retirement and then you drop dead before you can enjoy it, that's not good. All right, Carol and I spent an hour. We were in the gym an hour this morning, and then we walked a mile and a half. We're getting good guns. We're getting good development. And the second we get done reading, we go right down to our gym. We live in a condo complex. We go 6 or 5 floors down. And we go to the gym. We spend an hour in there every morning. And, when it's above 70 degrees, we go out in the pool. Our pool is 86 degrees year round. But when it's below 70.
Today we took a nice long walk.
Today we took a long walk. We did a mile and a half on the beach. And then we went out at breakfast. We watched the sunrise while we were eating breakfast from a restaurant over the water. So, really, really, really good. But anyway, we're getting exercise and everything we do. We stay healthy. This will probably be the first winter where we actually lost weight and not gained weight, because Maine, all you do is eat and don't exercise.
And you don't want to go outside.
You don't want to go outside. So you pack it on in the wintertime. Whereas we're very active here in Florida for sure. So health set is very important. What you eat, what you consume, not drinking too much, drinking a lot of water. We talk a little bit about that. We don't spend a whole lot of time in there, but the importance of being healthy and sharing that with your directors and owners. We have a lot of teachers are overweight. I've noticed that in a lot of childcare centers that I've been in. They have health issues. They eat poorly. They DoorDash everything. So as an example, as a leader, an owner, and a director, you set that a good example. Get the people in that work for you in good eating habits, and they'll be with you for years and years to come. And they have a lot less healthcare costs. So if you're paying, healthcare contributions to people, you want their healthcare bills as low as possible. Having them healthy is a much better choice. All right, the next one is marketing. All right, so Childcare Genius Marketing, we can help you with all that stuff. But we give you some good tips in the book. on what you should do to market your program. And it's all about the math, and marketing helps you get to that math as far as enrollment and staffing, profitability, things like that. So marketing is the key. Unless you got a degree in marketing, more than likely, this is an area you're struggling in. And you wonder why you have 30 open spots in your school because you're not advertising, you're not marketing, you're relying on word of mouth. You haven't updated your program in years. Your sign's still the same sign you had out 25 years ago. You're still handing out brochures and you're writing hand paychecks. You don't have a parent communication app, and you wonder why you're struggling, right? So your marketing message might be a little dated, which we see in a lot of programs.
Yeah.
I came across a program the other day. They're still handwriting payroll checks.
And if you have an ad in the yellow pages, that's not good.
Yeah. Do they still even have the yellow pages? I mean, come on. The young people don't even know what that is. But you got to know what works, is what I'm saying. And marketing
Right.
where you help. And if you're one of those heart-centered owners, this is not something that's logical for you. So you have to hire an expert. You know, you don't self-diagnose a heart issue. You go to a cardiologist. And a lot of people are trying to self-diagnose their issues instead of going to a specialist. You don't go to a cardiologist for a foot problem. Don't go to a foot doctor for a heart issue. If you want marketing help, go to a marketing expert. Call us at Child Care Genius Marketing. All right, so let's talk about tours. Tours in the next area. Tours are important.
Very.
It's how you fill your school, right? Every single kid you got started from a tour. And it's all about the tour math. We talked in a previous episode, I think it was last week, we talked about doing tour math. It was made two episodes ago. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch 2 episodes ago. But the math always works. If you want to enroll one child, you do 3 tours. You want to enroll 10 kids, you do 30 tours.
And make sure the person doing your tours is the right person.
Oh, thank you, Carol. It's not always the director. Sometimes the directors are horrible to work with. Right?
Great director, but not good at tours.
I wrote a whole book on doing tours, and I'm going to share with you that book in a couple episodes from now. We're going to talk a little bit about tours. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. Just know that tours are the most important part of enrollment process. And it's the one area that the directors can screw up the easiest. It's the easiest to do if you're doing it right, and it's the hardest to do if you're doing it wrong. I'm telling you, and it takes so little to get much better results. And we're going to talk about that in an upcoming episode. But tours are very important. We do talk about it in the book. The next chapter.
Expansion.
All right. So this is an area Carol and I have opened 10 schools. We've helped to this date, probably 100, 200, 300, somewhere around there. There's hundreds of people that we've helped get to their second school, third, fourth school. You know, I've had clients with 27 schools before. So, you know, we help go through the expansion. We help the centers grow. And the second school is actually the hardest one to open. I've seen the most difficulty for most people. You know why it's the hardest one?
Because it's hard to let go.
Hard to let go.
Yeah.
You know, when you're working 40 hours at one school, you're like, how do I work another 40 at another one? That's what you're thinking. And it's not that difficult to do. Once you get past 2, it just do rinse and repeat. Just do it over and over
But
again.
you have to do your homework and make sure it's the right time to expand, right area to
You got the right money, you capitalize.
Yeah.
There is a lot of market research. And I screwed up some of our expansion. I put centers in the wrong markets because I didn't know what market research was. I just was, sometimes ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, right? And I was just going. Now I'm like, okay, I lost a lot of money doing stupid stuff. Now I'm trying to help people avoid doing the stupid stuff.
So you can learn from our mistakes.
And that's what Child Care Genius podcast is. That's what Child Care Multi-Millionaire book is. It's all about learning from our mistakes and trying to avoid them. And that's what coaching is too. Coaching is nudging you towards good decisions and helping you avoid the bad ones. Because avoiding a bad decision is equally as good as making a good decision. And we help people avoid some pretty bad ones. I've talked people into nixing deals that they're already inked. I've taught, people have lost money get on them. They would have lost a heck of a lot more money had they not gotten out of them. So The smart people call me before they sign the deals. And now I think most of our clients do that. Like, let's go evaluate this thing, look at it from an outside perspective. And whatever you do, don't get emotional when it comes to expansion. Never say, oh, I really want that location. I really want, like, you get emotionally attached, you make poor decisions.
Mhm.
It has to be logical. And heart-centered people make emotional decisions. So you need to bring that brain center person, that logical thinker, and think strategically, that thinks about all the parameters into that decision making. And that's where we come in. We could help you with that process. Now, I do hour-long consultations on expansion or real estate diversification. Just reach out to me at Brian, Brian, at childcaregenius.com. And you can basically hire me for 1 hour to do a consultation on this high level advancement or expansion stuff. All right, next area.
I have no idea what that
Can't
is.
see that. My
can't.
handwriting. I write like a doctor
It's
sometimes.
terrible.
Leadership. All right. So leadership isn't how you see it.
No.
I got little notes here, well, my chapters. So we try to be organized here. I should have asked you before I went. Can you read my handwriting? All right. You read the book. You must know the chapters. So I don't memorize. Anyway, we have a lot of fun here. We don't edit the podcast. We make a mistake. We just keep moving forward. And we do that to show how real we are. You know, we don't have to show you a polished version of ourselves. We do the no BS version of ourselves. What you see is what you get. Our coaching is the same way. We don't sugarcoat stuff. We tell it like it is. And I think people appreciate that about our coaching style. But anyway, leadership is very important. And I don't think I've ever met a childcare owner who's had leadership training in high school or college. I have a few clients that were military trained that have leadership. And that's not always a good transcending. Carol and I are both military, and that kind of military chain of command doesn't work too well in childcare centers. Now, having them stand there at attention or raise, they all stand up when I walk in a room or salute me, that doesn't go very well for these young people today, or the old ones in the old days. But you can't expect to run your center like a military operation. And you can't expect that as a childcare person with no leadership training, that people are just going to follow you. People, to be a leader, you've got to earn it. You've got to earn respect. You've got to do by example. One example I always give is at our center, we had a big parking lot. And I always parked at the farthest parking spot away as the owner. Why? Because I wanted my staff to know that they deserve the closer parking spot because I value their work. So that is leadership, saying that, you know what, I'm not too good to walk across the parking lot. At the end of the day, guess who took his own trash out? Me. And guess what I would do? I'd go by the classrooms and grab their trash on the way out if I saw it, because I was already going by their classroom. I didn't want to do it. What is that? Leadership by example. Because I want a teacher to see that and then grab my trash at the end of the day if they were going by my classroom, that we help each other out. Never be too good to clean your own office, to park in a farther parking spot, and do something like that. Anything to add?
Yeah, as the owner and as the leader, I never expected someone to do something I wasn't willing to do.
Yes.
If I wanted them to clean the bathroom, I was willing to clean the bathroom.
That's right.
Anything. I don't think there's a job in the centers that I didn't do.
Then it doesn't matter. Then they'll follow you when you go to delegate it because they know you've done it.
Right.
They know you've done it. And if you're gonna promote your child who's never done any of those jobs to run a school as a director, who's never been a teacher or assistant teacher or changed diapers, it's not going to work. I've seen it. All right. Our children all work for us. All children all start at the bottom, started at minimum wage, never worked for us directly, had to get approvals for time off through the director and not through us. We never put our thumb on the scale. And now they all run schools, they run programs, they're in charge of things, and they get full respect because we never change that. And that's leadership, is not treating somebody better. There's no nepotism in that case. And then they earned. It was all just earning that title. So leadership is important. The last thing, I'll read it in case she can't. Oh, she can read it. All right, mentorship. It's all about being around the right people. And your mom might have told you when you were little, don't be hanging around those Jones boys because they're going to get you in trouble. Like, she knew that if you hang around the wrong kids, you know, you're going to end up on the wrong side of bad decisions, right? Well, same thing here. If you want to become a multimillionaire, guess what you got to do? Hang around with someone. And, if you're hanging around childcare center owners that are not profitable, all your conversations are going to be about negative, right? You're struggling. But if you hang around people that are successful, you're going to start rubbing off some of those success things. So mentorship is all about being around the right people, getting coached by the right people, and being a part of a mastermind group that is going places and will help you get to the next level and help you grow. Because wherever you want to be in life, you can help get there. But, there's a reason all professional athletes have coaches.
Right.
They help make them better.
And coaches have coaches.
All coaches have coaches. I have a coach, and it helps to ground me, make me better. And all good coaches have one, and sometimes more than one, depending on what they're being coached by. So never think that you're better than everybody else. And if you don't have a coach, it kind of signifies that, yeah, I kind of better. And if you don't have a coach and your center's not full and you're not at max profitability, then you're probably struggling, right? So you're telling everybody I'm better than everybody else, and that's not a good place to be. So let us help you get to that excellence. And we have a good team of people. So that's it. That's Childcare Multi-Millionaire in a nutshell. All right. I pull no punches, 101 nuggets, and it helps get you to a great place when it comes to growing your program. So again, it's free. Just go to childcaregenius.com and you will see, I think it's under the books tab, the free book offer. And it usually takes me about 2 weeks to get it in your hand, 2 to 3 weeks. You'll have it in there. All we ask is if I'm going to spend the $10 to get it to you, please read it. That's it. And I'd love to get a review on it. Go to Amazon and do a review of the book. That would make my day. And take notes in it. There's pages in that to take notes in it. And shoot me an email, brian@childcaregenius.com, and let me know what you think of it. Really appreciate that. And again, thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius podcast.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.